This conference will now be recorded.
Good evening, everybody. This meeting of the Vader City Council, it is March 31st, 2022. It is 6:41 p.m. And I'll say again, this is a special meeting of the Vader City Council. Roll call.
Jason Daly.
Jason did have to work.
Randy Hall.
Here.
Ann McIntosh. Here. Joe Shy.
Present.
Samantha Lovelady.
Her family is ill again.
Mike Parsons.
Here.
Right. We have a quorum. Seeing as we already did pledge allegiance just a little bit ago, we will not do that again. Moving into agenda approval. We have a motion on the agenda.
I make a motion that we approve the agenda for the special meeting on today's date,
March 31st.
March 31st.
We have a motion by Mr. Parsons to approve the agenda. Do we have a second?
I second.
Seconded by Mr. Hall. Discussion. There are none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. No vouchers tonight. Yay. All right, moving on to item number 1, city business, regarding the A Street development application from KR Homes. Seeing as we were all present for the discussion of the planning committee, the planning committee did recommend the approval of their application with some stated changes to the original designs, namely a historic looking flat fronted facade on every other building, as well as color choices that were muted and more historic in nature. Also a stone or some natural appearing material on the storefront side of the building that captures it.
We did talk about the parking.
They did, yeah, they did talk about additional parking in the rear for residences. And the Vader Municipal Code does specify a certain minimum amount that they'll be held to. So even if this site plan does not meet those standards, they're still going to have to meet those. The city planner will review this as well as the engineer and relay that information to them so they meet those minimum standards.
And in regards to parking, all the parking on the west side of that street, that is city parking, correct?
It is public parking, yes.
Yeah,
So
there's a lot of parking there. Empty.
So those residents should need to park in the back. I know that this is a huge issue in Castle Rock. And I know this doesn't have to do with the approval, but I think that we should also think about putting like a 2-hour limit during business hours on the front of it, because we're getting campers and trailers and we don't want that downtown Main Street.
Maybe even have go with a company for towing.
The city does not currently have a regulation for that parking area. And so if that's something that city council wants to pursue, we definitely
Yeah, I
can do
think
that.
so.
I think we take that up next session.
We'll talk about that next
Yeah.
time. Okay.
I think that's very good, Mike. We need to do that because I've seen the camper and there's all kinds of crap.
Yeah, and we want to give them plenty of warning because it has been
Yeah,
just wide open, but I think they treat it like it's theirs. and it's not
we'll
theirs.
serve notice to the
It's the
people that
city.
live there before, when we
Yeah.
do, give them time to react to it.
And maybe the city could add some additional rules,
Yeah.
you can have 2 designated parking spaces per home only.
Yeah.
You know,
No campers.
That
up
only
there.
4 would be in use at any given time.
Okay,
But once again, that's not part of this.
not part of this.
An overall rethinking of how we're utilizing our downtown area.
Yeah.
Could be in order.
Is the, that would be the north end of that whole block where the 120 is. Whose is that? What is that?
If you know, their property, yeah, that's the 6th Street right of way. And the blue line is the water line. The property line of is they're building right up to the property line. So their parking lot and the building, yeah,
So,
they're totally utilizing their parcel. So that is all city.
Mhm.
so this could very easily, because I don't really care for the idea of tearing this up and moving the sidewalk over. I
Yeah.
think that we need that just for more gathering, especially if we have like May days and stuff like that. The street needs to be a nice area. So we can put parking all along there.
City could utilize that however we like.
Well, like-
Absolutely could add parking.
Like Latoya pointed out, across Sixth Street, there's a bunch of parking now. From the park,
To the north, yeah.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, where the
That's
park,
not
But you
that
want it to be convenient for them.
It's not that far.
It doesn't matter. I want it convenient. I don't want to have to walk
Yeah.
that much. I want
Well,
to
it-
get out of my car and go into
Well,
my
they can handle
business.
they can handle overflow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know why we're worried about this. Inslee just said no gas vehicles after 2030. So. we're
Good
gonna all
luck
have
with that.
helicopters.
Back on track.
Throw his butt in an office.
Invoke the name of Inslee. So yeah, so there is a variety
Sorry,
of
I cussed.
empty space.
It's gonna be a backfire.
There's
on that.
plenty of empty city public right of way in there for all kinds of parking
Yeah.
options going forward. There really are.
So, other than that, I think it looks great. I'm excited about it, and I'd like to
Mhm.
make a motion that we approve the plans with the rock and the facade. With the rock and the facade
Color, the soft
and
color.
the colors.
We have
I second the motion.
we have a motion by Mr. Parsons to accept the planning committee's recommendation with modifications, conditions that they listed. And we also have a second by Mr. Hall
Mhm.
for that motion.
I have
Further discussion,
Yeah. Are we gonna get better plans for this?
better plans, in what way, what plans?
That don't tell me nothing. Want plans to detail what's going in there.
So the city council and the planning committee can dictate well, the word
No, I
dictate.
want to see what
but-
kind of plans they have.
But our job is to discuss the external components, and the historical, view of the external of the building. What they do with the inside is their business.
Well, when they apply for the permits, they're required to show an offset drawing.
Right, so
Of
you'll
it.
be able to see the.
You'll be able to see it. So, but there's no mystery there.
We do
Oh,
have,
yeah, there is. Are they going to use metal studs? Are they going to use wooden studs?
All that
metal
will be
studs?
I think the
That
construction
will be-
expert is here, he could answer all those questions right now.
Wood, all wood, okay. Yeah, because I know sometimes you have to use metal.
There's six commercial businesses there that are gonna open up. And no parking, and you're wanting them to park across the street or in the, that doesn't make any sense.
Thank you.
And if you put the parking in the back, then you're gonna expect the commercial businesses to have the patrons walk through the residential parking lot to get to the front.
I
Thank
believe,
you.
yeah, Mr. Drop, I believe the intent is to have the residents park in the rear, and then the folks that frequent the businesses will use the city public parking in the front. And currently you're correct, there's only public parking across the street and on the adjoining block on the same side of the street. It's going to be up to the city if when the time comes to increase the parking, the public parking down there.
Yeah, we'll have to. There's no doubt about it.
If there is that kind of flow, like we're hoping.
With the taxpayer dollar, when we can do it right now, put parking in front of their businesses, it doesn't make sense.
Now, I don't believe we have, in the city code, we require frontage improvements, city street parking, improvements with a application like this. All right, we have a first and a second, and we were having discussion. No further discussion?
No.
No, hearing none. All those in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Approved. Seeing that this is the end of city business, I adjourn this meeting at 6:51 PM. Thank you.